This is the XREXS large digital clock with date and temperature. Let's take it out of the box. In the box you get the manual, a remote control. Yes, your clock is now remote controlled. They even include the batteries for it. They are actually pre-installed in the remote. However, they're wrapped in plastic so it won't make contact, so you do need to take them out and take the plastic off. And that's why I'm showing them to you here. Power adapter for the clock. Yes, it must remain plugged in. However, the clock also does take batteries, but those batteries are simply for memory retention. They will not run the clock. It must be plugged in at all times. Conveniently also, they give you a mounting bracket placard here, so you can put this up on the wall, tape it up on the wall, and mark your holes, drill them, and install appropriate hangers for the clock. It is able to be placed on a desk just like that. It has a flip-out stand on the back. I'll show you all of this in a second. Or it can be hung up. So now let me show you more about the clock. We'll start with the back of the clock. Flip-out stand, as you see right here, for placing it on a desk or anything. And of course your hanging holes. As I mentioned, you can use the included template to mark that. So now there's a few important things that we need to go over here. Yes, it comes with a remote, and you can do everything with the remote. However, it also has buttons right on board. So if you prefer the old school approach, you can certainly do that. There are also batteries pre-installed in here, once again, for memory retention. This is the cover for it. I also noticed this here, and it looks like something is broken or missing. It's not. That's supposed to be there. That is the temperature sensor. So if you see that little thing hanging out, it's supposed to be there just like that. That's the temperature sensor. Your brightness adjustment. There are 4 different brightness levels. You can set it to auto, high or low, and it's also configurable through the remote. As far as the AC power adapter, like I said, that must be plugged in. That goes in the battery compartment down in that corner. So even with this closed, you will see there is a channel where you run the wire either through here or directly up the back to go into that and plug in. So just to show you, that's how the plug would go in, more or less. You can of course just come straight down if it's going on a wall, if you'd like that instead. Now this is a 16.5-inch display, but the time characters themselves, the time display is 4.84 inches high. Let's go ahead and apply power to the clock. Nice and big and bright. Beautiful all around. So now there's a few things that we're going to want to do here and talk about. First, of course, is setting the time and everything else. Temperature. As you see, when it comes back to it, it switches between the date and the temperature is in Celsius. That, however, can be changed very easily to Fahrenheit. And the clock display can also do 24-hour time. That's how I prefer it, and in Fahrenheit, so that's how I'm going to be setting it. So with a clock with all of this going on, it's got to be really difficult to set, right? No, it's really easy. I'm going to use the remote just because this way my arm won't have to be in the shot like that. You have a set button here. Press the set button. It asks for the language. English is what I'm speaking, so we'll hit set again. Now it asks for the year. You have down and up on the sides here. So it is 2022. We'll hit set again. And now it asks for the month. This is going to be 2, and I believe it is the 16th. It is indeed. So we'll hit set again. Now it asks for the time. It is 3 o'clock on the dot. Hit set, and you're done. So, with a matter of 3 buttons, set and the up and down, you've set everything you need. Now, if you want 12-hour time, if 1500 doesn't mean anything to you, well, look right there. 12/24 button. Press it. Done. 3 p.m. I'm going to set it back because that's where I like it. As far as the temperature, Celsius or Fahrenheit, there's a button for it. Let's wait for that to come up. Press the button. Bam. Just like that, it's all set. There you go. A beautiful, large clock can be put on the wall or on a desk or table, but yet, of course, there's more. This also has a built-in timer, so it would make a great kitchen clock. Maybe you're baking something and it's going to take a half hour in the oven or something like that. So the way you work the timer, center button right here says timer, so we'll press that and it gives us the display. Now for that you have minutes, seconds, and hours right here. Let's set it for 10 seconds. And then in the upper right corner you have the timer STSP, start, stop, start. And it's going to count down and it'll ring off when we get there. Just like that. And then we can go back to the main time just by pressing the timer button in the center again, and we're back there. This also has an alarm clock. So for the alarm, we'll press alarm set, and then the set button will go to change things, and then we're going to turn it on. You'll also notice up here there is a bell that has come on. And what I'm going to do is set this to, let's say, 4 p.m. It remembers that it is in 24-hour time. I'll hit set. Don't need the minutes. Set that. And we can leave the 1E there. The 1E means every day. You can do 2E, which means Monday through Friday, or 3E, which means weekend. We'll do it every day. We'll hit set. And that is now set. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and set the time to 3:59. So we'll run that up. And we'll hit set. And now at 1600 hours, it should ring off. So we'll just wait for that. And there is your alarm, just like that. So there we are. That's the alarm function. And like I said, you can do that every day, only Monday through Friday, or only Saturday and Sunday. There is also an hourly chime function. So to do that, you press the alarm set button right there for 2 seconds. That's your first hourly chime that you could set, or simply like that. And you can press set and then MOD for mode. Mode 1 is to not chime. Mode 2 would be an hourly chime. Mode 3 chimes from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. off. So it won't chime from that time, but it will do it from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. if you wanted that instead. So I'm going to set this back to the real time. which is 3:12 at this point. And there we are. So I'm going to leave the hourly chime off. I've reset the alarm to turn that off as well. And we also have the brightness to talk about. You also, by the way, have a volume control right here up and down for the hourly chime if you wanted to do that. So now the brightness is set to auto, okay? But you can still adjust it on auto down from here. You see, I don't know if the camera can make it out. It gets dimmer but then a bit brighter because it depends on the ambient light that's in the room. I'm going to now change the switch in the back of the clock so you can see the difference with that. So that's high brightness, and if I go ahead and change the switch over to low brightness, it's hard, you know, to hit it not seeing it. There's your low brightness right there. Let me shut the room lights out. So at low brightness, it's perfectly fine as it is. It's perfectly readable like that, and you can still press the buttons on the remote to raise that. So you have actually 4 levels right there, as you see. So you can manually set that on the back of the clock to auto, low, or high, but then you can adjust the brightness, as you see like that, to one of 4 different levels and set it to where you'd like. And in the auto mode, it will automatically adjust the brightness of the display depending on the brightness in the room. I'm going to step over to the light switch and turn that off. It takes just the most brief second. Hopefully the camera will pick it up. So if I go ahead and turn off the lights, just a moment later, it gets dimmer. And if I turn the lights back on, it takes just a moment for these preheat bulbs to get back on. It's slowly increased back in brightness. And if I shut the lights once again, you'll see it drop back down to that lower level. Just like that. And then it will slowly come back to brightness as all of the bulbs light back up. So all around, this has everything you'd need to see at any time. You have your time and your date, as well as your temperature right there flashing anytime you need it. An easy set timer, which is great. It remembers. We did 10 seconds before from before with the timer. So if you're using this in the kitchen, for example, you then hit the timer. It's going to go off again in a couple more seconds. And it just does the beep beep sound like that for the timer. The hourly chime has those 3 other sounds that you can choose from. And then we can go back to regular time, and you're back. All around, super readable from way across the room, easy to see, easy on the eyes, adjustable brightness, or leave it on automatic. It'll take care of itself for you. Excellent large display clock from XREXS. If you'd like to purchase this item, I'll leave a link in the video description where you can find the item available for sale on Amazon. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.